Right, my people, the conversation around South Africa has become impossible to ignore. Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African president, made a very interesting comment about what is happening in South Africa, and we are going to look at it.
Over xenophobic attacks when you were still deputy president, that transpired. What was the responses of some of the African presidents then? Because some of them was like, what is the rush, what is the halapalu on these issues of migration at this particular point in time? Then lastly, when are you appointing an ambassador of South Africa to France?
Well, in terms of just sending envoys, we will address that more fully when we put our address to the nation. We will be calling on our sister countries on the African continent to join in the whole process of helping us to address migration, because migration is quite complex. It has a number of elements to it, and we want to address all those elements fully, and they contain tasks that we must fulfill and also asks that we want to put forward to a number of other countries. In the past, we've always sought for others to understand. This time around, we will be saying we want to work together, work with us, and I'm rather pleased that President Mahama of Ghana has been saying he would like to make a call on other African countries to work with South Africa. And that is precisely what has triggered our intention to send envoys so that they can go and explain the type of initiatives, type of programs that we are going to embark upon. Because in the end, this is an African problem. It's not only a South African problem. We are all involved in this. It's various countries on the continent that experience precisely what we are going through. Now, because of the social challenges that our people are facing, challenges of security, challenges of delivery of services, as well as unemployment, it brings a lot of pressure on our people, which we understand very, very well. So therefore, it needs all of us as South Africans, as those who are coming to our country, either documented or undocumented, as well as other countries, so that we work together. This is an African problem that requires African solution.
Now, my people, does Ghana believe that the South African government is behind the attacks against international people or foreign nationals? Is the South African government allowing people to beat our people? That's a big question, because why are they not getting people arrested? Now, the response is no. Ghana has not accused South Africa of supporting the attacks against foreign nationals, but they are speaking in a different language, a different tone, an adult language.
Africa continue. We do not have any breach in our diplomatic relations. What happened was that it's not the first time there have been these xenophobic attacks in South Africa. They say we shouldn't call it xenophobia. I don't know what else, other name you can give it. But there have been these surges in anti-foreign attacks. And normally those who bear the brunt are fellow Africans from neighboring states, Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe, and before Nigeria. Lately, Ghanaians have gotten involved. This is the first time we've really had Ghanaians getting part of the direction of attacks. We had a situation where people went on rampage, locked the shops of foreigners, and many of the Ghanaians and other West Africans there come with some skills like nail work, barbering, weaving of hair, the cosmetic and beautician industry. And so when the rampage took place and their shops were locked, and it was dangerous to go out, because if you were identified as foreign, you could be attacked. And there were even forays into health institutions. And if you were not South African, you were asked to leave the hospital, even if you were ill. It created a very, toxic atmosphere. And many of our citizens rushed to our embassy because they were displaced, especially those who came from Durban and other places. They sought refuge in our embassy. And so at a point we had nearly 200 of our citizens in our embassy. And it didn't look like the South African authorities were doing anything to try to quell what was happening and also to provide protection to those who had been displaced. And so we had no option but to evacuate our citizens. And so we did a first evacuation flight. We're going to do 2 more to take those who want to leave. It's voluntary. We asked, do you want to stay or you want to leave? And many of them say they feel threatened, and so they want to leave. But I think it's unfortunate what is happening in South Africa. We need to drill down to what causes these flare-ups in terms of xenophobia. I think that there might be some structural issues in there that are a carryover of the apartheid era. And so all of us must empathize with South Africa, or must sympathize with South Africa, and we must help South Africa to be able to drill down and find out what it can do to reduce the unemployment rates amongst the black populations, and to also change the mindset that people who have come to your country are taking your jobs. Really, let all the Africans leave. After the last fellow African leaves, is it going to change unemployment among blacks in South Africa? After the last shop has been closed and everybody has left, is it going to change unemployment in South Africa? There's something in there that the South African government must put a finger on and start a process of reforming so that, every country benefits from migration. There are lawyers here in the UK, there are surgeons, there are doctors, there are Ghanaian healthcare workers working in the NHS. In Ghana, we have fellow Africans working in Ghana. There are South Africans, there are Sudanese, there are, Nigerians, and everybody brings some advantage. They either bring their knowledge or they bring investments. And I think we should get over this fear of, foreigners coming into our country.
Now, here is the click. They say if South Africa does not respond properly, Ghana may take South Africa to International Court of Justice. Yes, so South Africa has to respond properly. So right now, you can actually see where the continent is heading to. One brothers going to an extra mile to drag each other. You see, this is going to get out of hand. It's going to be very, very crazy.
That we are not going to sit back without any effort in attempting to secure compensation for those of you who have lost your properties, lost your assets, lost your businesses, your shops, and what have you. So we are putting together legal processes that we will activate to ensure that those properties you invested in, and some of you, your life savings, you have worked for more than 2 decades, 3 decades, to put together businesses that were thriving. We are going to make sure that we go all out to obtain compensation for you.
Now, the protest scene in South Africa for the last couple of months, perhaps many South Africans, black South Africans, feel invaded. They feel like there is a lot of foreigners. Foreigners basically means they are talking about what? The African people. Yes, they are talking about their own African people from other countries that are living in South Africa. A lot of them are not documented, or perhaps some of them overstays their visas. So some of them have their visas that are valid. Yeah, that's how it is happening. Now, what is being said is that we don't want undocumented foreigners living in South Africa. But the other case is that that's not what they are saying. The truth is they don't want both the undocumented foreigners and documented foreigners. Yes, it's actually they don't want foreigners in their country. Okay, so you can clearly see that are these people wanting only undocumented foreigners to return? Well, some people on the ground says no, because apparently some documented foreigners have been arrested too. They don't want both the documented and undocumented people in living in South Africa. They don't want that. They just want African foreigners to go to their country. You see, like sometimes I think about this and I don't get the clue over here. I don't know what is actually happening in South Africa. It's getting crazier. Now, my people, if you can see, this continent is getting to a place. Now, the continent stands at an important moment in its history. The dream of economic integration, stronger partnership, and broader connected continent cannot coexist with fear and mob justice, hatred. You know, the path forward requires wisdom, empathy, accountability, and courage. Illegal immigration must be addressed through lawful means. Human dignity must be protected without compromise. And if Africa truly seeks unity, then its people must learn to confront difficult problems without losing their humanity. My people, what do you think about this? If you think this continent needs to work hand in hand, that's unity to maintain among this continent, and what South Africans are doing, it's not good for the continent. Just let me know in the comment section. Whatever you think about this, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching this channel. Peace.